are still worried about the unstableness of this rock face. In this next street, this is where a local man lost his life when all the rock came down and crushed his house, and he was outside in the garden. So this is one of the places out here, one of the only places in the suburbs where a person lost their life. But you can see how close to the edge some of these homes are.
5 months on, Christchurch is still broken. The scene of one of the worst natural disasters in New Zealand history. More than 180 lives lost, and so far more than $1 billion worth of damage, and that will climb significantly.
The Volcano restaurant, which has been an icon in Littleton for many years, and obviously over time they bought another building next to them which was of a similar style and turned it into a cafe, and both were extremely popular, and obviously all three of these buildings have had to go.
From the outside, it's surreal. Images of disaster come through our TV screens. It's hard to fathom that this is New Zealand. The people who live in Christchurch are still there, still struggling, but more than ever determined to get through.
Normal is whatever you find it, isn't it? And today, normal is we've got a huge row of containers here protecting people from potential rockfall. We've got some empty buildings which were being used, but we've got a family that's having a birthday and they're just carrying on having donkey rides with the very young kids. And in general terms, people quickly accept their environment because you can't do a lot else.
The people whose homes are in the red zone. You've been told that the place you bought just 9 months earlier to raise a family and sow into a community is to be pulled down because it's not fit to repair or build.
First house, we only bought it last year in January, so it's been a little bit of a shattered dream for us, but it's what you get dealt.
Some are in authority, dealing with their own disasters and also having to help a community come to terms with incredible loss. The place that you're passionate about and live in and work in will look completely different. Driving past homes and places from your past will simply become bare land and a memory.
I used to work in Littleton for many years. I've always been interested in it, and we were quite positive about being able to save a major proportion of this, but the next one came along and it's really devastated it, unfortunately. I'm not so worried in myself about physical things, that they don't really affect me in that way. Whether the car survives or the building survives is more minor to me than whether a person is okay.
Christchurch people have had to deal with more in just a few months than most of us will experience in a lifetime. But there is something you have to envy. How these people, these communities, have pulled together. The policeman who's more proud of his community for the way they're coming together and how his staff has learned the value of a simple gesture than low crime stats.
We often had in all the patrol cars some water and some chocolate or something along that, something small, and as much as possible, as well as going out and saying to people, are you okay, what are your needs, we were able to give them a small gift, which I think did more about preserving their human capital or giving them a lift up in their spirit than it actually did by physically saying, here's a chocolate bar to give you a bit of sustenance.
And the family who praise God that they've been told their home won't be repaired or rebuilt because at least they know, unlike so many others.
We have a bit of an understanding of where we can go forward because of the fact that, well, the government's given us an ultimatum of knowing exactly that we're in a red zone and that's the situation, but also that we can sort of take on and keep moving.
It's incredible that when we face our darkest times, when it seems that nothing can go right or there's no hope, that the human spirit, the Kiwi spirit awakens, and we begin to understand what this life is about. Whānau, community, and a person's ability to show amazing love.
Going through hardships and struggles, I believe, personally, it amplifies what we feel in our heart. And so therefore, if we feel love in our heart, when we go through struggles, we also amplify that. So for us, going through hard times, I think in a way has actually shown us where truly our heart is and where our true faith is.
It may be the simplest ideal to love your neighbour, but it's more valuable now to people in Christchurch than ever. And if this tragedy has shown us Kiwis anything, it's how remarkable we can be when we have to be.
The biggest, I guess, blessing that I've had is after the June 13th aftershocks, and we got more liquefaction around our house, and we we just didn't have the energy to try and get a team to come in and start shoveling again for us. And I came home one day and our neighbour's son had organised a team to clear all the silt, and yeah, I just burst into tears. I was like, you know, they're still living there. They had no water, no way to clean up afterwards, and it was all gone for us. And it was just, amazing.
Thank you for the privilege of being able to walk with you over this past 9 months, Christchurch. We will continue to tell your story.